Securities offered through TJ Stearns, a registered representative of Crown Capital Securities LP, member FINRA SIPC. Content is intended to provide accurate information, however, is not intended as financial, tax, or legal advice. Please consult a financial, legal, or tax professional for specific information regarding your individual situation. Opinions expressed and provided are for general informational purposes only and should not be considered a solicitation for the purchase or sale of any security.
Welcome to Protect and Grow with Chicagoland certified financial planner Tim Stearns of TJ Stearns Incorporated. Trust, respect, and results. TJ Stearns Incorporated focuses on comprehensive financial planning and benefits.
And welcome into the program. This is Protect and Grow Chicagoland Retirement with Chicagoland's certified financial planner, CFP Tim Stearns, president and founder of TJ Stearns Inc. Chicagoland, your resource for a common sense approach to planning. And Tim, we always appreciate your guidance and perspective that you provide here on the program about the complex decisions we have to make with our money.
Peter, thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure, Tim. We do appreciate the time and the knowledge and the information. Tim, let's start the program just with kind of a question here. Do you see a lot of people making mistakes with their money, and do you help them identify those mistakes?
Peter, I see that a lot. I see people who have retirement ready to go in their minds, but they need a little tweaking. That 59.5 loophole is a nice thing to point out to people, that if you're over 59.5, most, if not all, companies allow you to take an in-service distribution into an IRA, which opened up the whole world to you, to what you can invest in, give you a little more control over your own retirement. God forbid the market takes a hit where you could have done a stop loss and gotten out. That's something I think is out there. Then you have people who have done the ostrich, they're burying their head in the sand and hoping things are going to be fine. And, we tell people all the time on the show, in my retirement classes, we don't work in the hope, we work in the knowing that you're going to be okay. And that comes with an income allocation plan.
So, Tim, it sounds like it kind of runs the gamut, all shapes and sizes, some just small minor tweaks or course corrections, and then some pretty large oversights that need to be identified as early as possible to make sure that we achieve the goals that are important to us financially.
I agree. You need to, if you don't have a plan, by failing to have a plan, you certainly have one already, whether you like it or not. And, I wouldn't wing it in retirement. The analogy we use ad nauseum on the show is, if you're a builder, comes to you without a blueprint, you would never sign up with that builder, correct? Well, if you're working with your retirement, you should have a plan there that is, foolproof, because in 30 years from now, if you run out of money, what now? You go back to work when you're, in your 80s, no one's going to hire you. Do you go live with your family? Are you going to be, a ward of the state? No one wants that. So make sure you know what you're doing and what you're getting yourself into and what that looks like.
Now, have plan A be one of financial security, stability, and confidence. And those are the kinds of plans that Tim Stearns does help his clients and Chicagoland area savers and investors put together, ladies and gentlemen. If you'd like such a plan, pick up the phone, give Tim Stearns a call. He's happy to hear from you, happy to sit down with you, help you identify and really hone in on your financial goals for the future, and then help you make a plan that will give you an optimal opportunity and reasonable expectation of achieving those goals. All you need to do is pick up the phone and give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256 for a complimentary Protect and Grow strategy session. And those are the goals of that strategy session, to help you protect your assets and grow your assets and make sure that you've got goals and a goal-oriented plan in writing to help you achieve them. Again, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, what are some of the most common oversights or mistakes that you see as you are conducting those reviews?
Well, one of the things I see a lot of times is, people, we use the analogy GRIP, guaranteed retirement income plan. What does that look like? What we tell people to do is give us a budget that we need to work with per month. Okay. Minus out your guaranteed sources, whether that might be Social Security or pension. And that's kind of your gap. And then you know kind of what you need to make up for each month to pay the bills, you know. And when are you taking that Social Security? You're taking it as early as you can, age 62. Do you wait till age 66, 67? In some cases, people are waiting until 70. A lot of that is addressed in our book, Income Allocation, which is an excellent book that we'll give out to the first 10 callers with over $500,000 worth of assets. We get that book into people's hands and they give it a good read. It is an excellent how to do your retirement. You know, it talks about stop losses. It talks about doing institutional investing instead of just your run of the mill mutual funds that they go up when the market goes up and they certainly go down when the market goes down. So everything's included in there, but getting a grip on your, not having a grip on your retirement is one of the first things.
And it is an eye-opening book, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to get that book in your hands, just be one of the first 10 callers with at least 500,000 saved for your retirement. Many, many Chicagoland area savers and investors have already read and benefited from the information in Income Allocation, but many more need to read this book and understand the risks that we face in our modern retirement. All you need to do to get your hands on a copy is pick up the phone and give a call now, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, you mentioned the word budget. You said, you know, in order to have that guaranteed retirement income plan that you ask folks to give you their budget. Is that a mistake in and of itself, that not enough of us actually keep a budget or pay attention to our budget? I have to imagine, and this is speaking personally from my own experience, like when I have made a comfortable living and enough money to meet all of my expenses, I may have slacked a little bit on actually really controlling and understanding where every dollar was going and what all made my budget work.
Well, my answer is twofold. Most people have a budget and they understand what's going on. And then they think that in retirement, that budget's going to go down, you know, that they won't be using as much money. But at the end of the day, you know, the gas company doesn't call you, the water company, you know, your electricity, ComEd, whatever, they don't call you and say, well, now that you're retired, your fees go down. That's not a thing. So you have people who don't really understand what goes into the mix there. And then you also have people who just don't even have a budget. They just kind of live vicariously through how their checkbook looks. And either way, you need to get on point and understand exactly how you're going to pay your bills, as well as make it through a 30+ year retirement for you and your wife.
And you mentioned guaranteed retirement income plan. Those sources that are guaranteed, Social Security and pensions. Typically with those, there are many, many different choices and options and strategies for which option to select and how to time them. And a lot of us aren't as educated as we should be in how to make the most of all of those options that are available to us. So we really want to spend some time just on that first step of formulating the optimal way that we should formulate the GRIP, the Guaranteed Retirement Income Plan.
Well, and I agree with you. I mean, basically that is the starting point. You know, get a grip on your own budget. I mean, if you don't know what you're spending, that's scary, you know. And then you have people downsizing or people taking the next step and going to warmer climates and that type of thing, but they're going to keep a place here in Chicagoland. So these are all things that we can help people plan ahead for. I mean, you want to get ahead of it. The last thing you want to do is be retired a couple of years and go, oh my Lord, I don't have enough money, you know, to make this all, I'll keep all the plates in there, if you will.
Well, if you can get a little bit more juice out of Social Security, if you can make a better decision with a pension that you may have available or create your own, that can make for a more sustainable, secure, and confident retirement. That's why it's one of the items in the Protect and Grow Retirement Planning Review and Strategy session. And if you'd like to take advantage of that time and opportunity, if you would like to get that grip on your retirement, get that plan put together, or if you'd like to read the book Income Allocation, the Essential Retirement Planning Strategy Guidebook, pick up the phone now, give Certified Financial Planner CFP Tim Stearns a call at 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, any other big mistakes that you see being too common in your opinion?
Well, what I've seen the last 13 years with the bull market is people taking inappropriate risks. you see there where the stocks were supposed to be, let's say, a 60-40 split, 60% bonds, 40% stocks. And at the end of the day, those roles have flipped because, bonds haven't done much but hold water, right? The last years with the interest rates being so low, and yet the market's gone on a holy tear. So you see that they're taking a lot more risk and maybe not understanding it. We call that style drift. And if you're style drifting and you don't realize it, you need to take a good look at what you have in your portfolio right now. Because if you're, 60% in stocks when you meant to be 40%, someone needs to be rebalancing for that. Whether it's yourself or your advisor, someone needs to be doing that. What we're seeing a lot of is people that come in here with different advisors. They're just riding the wave, if you will, the wave of a good stock market. But, those things can come to an end real quick. And, like we've talked about, the bear market takes the elevator and, the bull market takes the stairs to get back. The last thing you want to do in those years leading up to retirement and the years right after retirement, what we call the red zone, is take undue risk and then lose your money so that you're recalculating going, can I stay retired? Can I even retire right now?
Yeah. In your analogy there of the stairs and the elevator, just to illuminate that, shed some light on it a little bit more, some stats and statistics that we've talked about on this program before, Tim, is that the average bear market, some of them happen very quickly, seems like they happen almost overnight, but on average, it takes about a year and a half to get from the top of the previous bull market to the bottom of the bear market, wherever the market ultimately bottoms out. But then the recovery on average, when we've seen these bear markets in the past, takes about 5 to 6 years to recover. So it takes a long time to get back to that break-even point. So the bear takes the elevator and the bull takes the stairs back up. It takes a lot more work and time. Now, I did notice that you didn't say people taking too much risk, or you didn't say people taking too little risk. You simply put it as inappropriate. Now, could inappropriate actually be on either end of the spectrum? Could that actually go either way? It could be too much or it could be too little.
Well, it's inappropriate in the sense that if you are getting ready to retire, you shouldn't have, all your eggs in one basket being stocks. We've had so many people come in here. Well, my advisor's done really great. And I gladly tell them that, a moron has made money on the stock market. Let's cut the BS there.
I remember back in the 90s during the build up to the tech bubble bursting, where they had monkeys throwing darts at the stock board and they were picking winners. They were doing very well in investing that way. And it seems like that's what we've seen a little bit of a repeat of over the last 10 years or so.
Right. And, and that being said is true. And then you also have the Fed propping this market up by, doing printing money, right? So that's something. And then you also have the ability that this year they're saying, they've written it down in pencil, of course, that they're going to do 3 raises of the interest rates, in 2022. That's something you need to be cognizant of. If you have bond portfolios, your bond portfolio is going to get hurt. It's not an if, it's a when the interest rates rise.
And we know the direction of the Fed. What they intend to do is raise those interest rates over the year to come, which not only the bond portfolio there, Tim, but also I think that the housing market in particular could suffer because of a rising interest rate environment. We've seen so many refinances and people moving into bigger houses because they could do so with these low interest rates and maintain the same payment that they had previously. But that could be coming near an end if interest rates start creeping up and moving in a different direction. And I don't know what that precludes and what that indicates the stock market might do next.
Well, speaking of overbought, right? I mean, the housing market is crazy. And, many, soothsayers are saying that we're looking at another bubble. So that's something to be careful of. The third thing that we always talk about with people, 5 planning mistakes to avoid is a gross planning mistake. And what do I mean by that is people will say, well, we need to live on $100,000. And I'll ask them, well, did you take into effect the taxes? Oh, no, that's what I need to have. Well, then we need to juice the pot, right? And make it a little bit bigger, the amount of money that you're going to be taking in, because, the IRS has a plan for your dollar just like you do. And at the end of the day, you have to be careful that you take into effect your biggest fee. If you have a 401k and all these IRAs and that type of thing, is they've never been hit by taxes. So your biggest fee in retirement will be taxes and then medical costs. So we need to make sure that that's put into the ingredients into your retirement plan. We make sure that we do that.
Yeah, if you're going to need $8,000 a month, pretty close to that $100,000 a year mark. If you need $8,000 a month, and you've got tax deferred retirement assets like 401ks or IRAs, that probably means you're going to have to withdraw $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 a month in order to net the $8,000 that you need to spend. And Tim, you call it the gross planning mistake. I like the play on words there. A lot of people plan on the gross numbers. They don't factor in those taxes. That can be an expensive oversight if we have not identified it and planned specifically for it. That can impact the longevity and the outlook of our retirement.
Exactly. And most people, everyone in my retirement classes, any seminars we've given throughout the United States, people say the taxes are going up. So that is something you need to budget for, and then some.
What do you think the likelihood is of taxes going up into the future, Tim?
I think they're very good because we've printed a lot of money. And we've said that we're going to build America better and all that good stuff out there. And with that, someone's going to need to pay the bill. The hockey stick of deficit that just keeps getting bigger and longer. It's going to come home to roost at some point, and it's going to come to the American people that we're going to need to pay it.
Well, again, if you would like to make sure that your plan specifically addresses these issues, and in fact, Tim's got a great report here. He mentioned it earlier, the 5 planning mistakes to avoid for financial security throughout retirement. These are only the top 5, but there are many other oversights. There are places where people just need to complete their plan. They've done a good job in phase 1 in working and building and accumulating and saving and investing. But in order to be successful in phase 2, retirement, they need to make a couple tweaks, make a couple adjustments. If you'd like to avoid these 5 critical mistakes when doing so, pick up the phone, give Certified Financial Planner CFP Tim Stearns a call. You can request this list. It's a great 1-page resource that goes through these top planning mistakes that people make, unfortunately. You can request the book Income Allocation, which actually goes into some great detail on how to address these 5 common mistakes, or you can request a time to sit down, no cost, no obligation, with Certified Financial Planner Tim Stearns for a review, a strategy session, and a plan design. You can get a written retirement income plan, a plan in writing that can help you to address these common financial issues that some of us face, unfortunately, without that plan. To take advantage of any of those offers, pick up the phone, give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. And if you'd like to attend one of the upcoming classes, they are holding the Rethink Retirement classes pretty frequently here throughout 2022, and there's probably one in a location nearby and convenient for you. If you'd like to attend one of those classes, just give a call, find out when and where the next ones are, and sign up for one that is convenient for you, or even take them online. They're available virtually. 800-640-2256. Tim, any other mistakes that you want to highlight on this list, the 5 planning mistakes to avoid?
Yes, another big one is that not caring enough to plan for long-term care. I've had people say, well, we'll just insure for it ourselves by having enough assets. And when people realize that 7 out of 10 Americans are going to need long-term care, and 9 out of 10 of us have done nothing to address it, it gets a little scary that you need to realize you need this insurance, And what I've run into quite a bit is baby boomers have their parents that have paid into these standalone long-term care policies for years and years, and they say something like, oh, well, my dad died of a heart attack. He never even used it. So it was use it or lose it. And I agree with that. We don't sell, and we don't give a solution of a long-term care standalone to people. What we do is we give them a hybrid life insurance policy that would have long-term care components to go with it, which is excellent. So if you can't do 2 of your activities of daily living, you can take down money from the death benefit to use for that. So you're insuring something that can happen to you. If you don't end up using it, there's a death benefit. So let's say the Smith family does this. At the end of the day, they're going to have someone in the Smith family will get the money back that was put in there. Plus, a lot of times, most of these policies have a cash value. So let's go through that again. You have long-term care benefits, living benefits, and a life insurance policy. You have a death benefit that would pay out tax-free to people. And then lastly, you have the ability to actually put some money in an indice that mirrors the market, that does not have risk, and it builds a cash value tax-free, much like a Roth does.
But it would be a mistake in your guidance to just not address this issue at all. You cited some
Right.
scary stats. The Department of Health and Human Services, though, agrees with you. They say just at 70%, as close as you can get, 69.8% of the American public will, before the end of our life, at some point need some assistance with those activities of daily living, will require some level of care. 7 in 10 of us, and we don't know which the lucky 3 are. And so really, Tim, all of us need to do something about this question. And as you've just told us about, there are ways to do something about it where it's not use it or lose it. If we are one of the lucky 3, we haven't just wasted our time, money, and effort.
Right. We have a client, older client, that has some issues with physically and mentally, and they're paying $200 a day for a person to come in just during the day. Times 5, that's $1,000 a week, and then times 52 weeks a year, she's costing them $52,000 that they have to pay out of pocket because they never did long-term care back when they could have. So, and now they certainly can't get it. So get ahead of it, America. I mean, we need this stuff.
Well, again, if you would like to learn about these choices, about these options, about the tools and strategies that can help you to build for a more confident and secure financial future, avoid some of the largest planning oversights and mistakes, pick up the phone, give Tim Stearns a call. He can sit down with you for a complimentary review. You can get the time and the opinion and the guidance of a certified financial planner, of a CFP. That time and the planning that goes along with it can easily be valued. Similar reviews can go upwards of $1,000 to several thousands of dollars, but Tim weighs all costs and fees associated with that initial planning review, that strategy session time for radio show listeners. So if you'd like to take advantage, pick up the phone, give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Still probably a few copies of that book left as well. If you would like the book, Income Allocation, which is being used across the country by advisors looking to help clients better understand the modern challenges with retirement and how to specifically address them. Tim Stearns wrote the foreword to this book. It's a fantastic book. It's actually a pretty easy read. You could sit down and probably get through it in maybe just a couple to a few hours and have a much better understanding of what you need to do with your money. And in order to feel more confident in your retirement, pick up the phone, give a call. And Tim is making 10 copies of that book available on today's program for the first 10 callers with at least $500,000 saved for retirement. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, on your list of these 5 planning mistakes to avoid, not using Social Security to provide effective financial security. So sort of going full circle here back to that GRIP, that guaranteed retirement income plan.
Yes.
Specifically, Social Security is a very important tool for all of us.
Exactly. And I ask people all the time, have you done a Social Security optimization report? And I'd say 95% of them look at me like a deer in headlights. And so we say to them, is your advisor not offered to do that? And well, he doesn't really handle Social Security. Well, if you're going in for retirement, that is a big part of what you're going to need to know and to understand when you should be turning it on. So we literally will do this Social Security optimization report that will tell you kind of where you leave money on the table versus where you optimize it. If you go to the Social Security office, there's one right by our office. We're in Arlington Heights, they're in Mount Prospect. They will not answer questions for you. They just kind of check the boxes and you kind of dictate what you want to do. You want to make sure that you don't go in there on your own without understanding what exactly you're turning on your Social Security is going to do to you and your spouse, because it does affect both parties. So at the end of the day, Social Security will not help you. And I would tell anyone out there, give us a call. We'll help you to take a look at your situation and make sure that you're checking the right boxes.
In all fairness, they don't know the rest of your financial situation. That's not their job. Therefore, they don't take on the liability of providing any recommendations. Their job is to help you file the paperwork on the day that you show up or make the request, not tell you if that's the best day for you to fill out that paperwork or make that request. So not only is this decision important because of the amount that you can potentially get from Social Security, it's a big increase from 62 to full retirement age to 70. There is a big increase in the amount, but also the more money you have coming from Social Security, it has an impact on the level of risk that would be appropriate with your personal assets and the expectations for a realistic rate of return that you should have then, and the amount that you will depend on that investment account to create the rest of the income that you'll need. So Tim, just multi-factor here, a lot goes into the planning and preparing. And I think you're right. You said it very well, that if this is a conversation that has not been had, if the advisor, if the financial advice that we have been receiving has not included strategizing on optimizing Social Security, has not included taxation, has not included long-term care, then we may be really missing the boat. Cumulatively, that's a large oversight and several big mistakes that can really impact our retirement.
Right. You want to make sure that you understand all the moving parts and how they go together. And that's what you just summarized, but it's very true. You know, I wish I had a Swiss Army knife to fix all this, but there's no such thing out there. So when you do an income allocation plan, all these components go into the ingredients to make it for a good retirement. And one that you don't look back on 30 years from now and go, oh, shoot, I wish I had done this. You don't want to have a, oh, shoot moment in retirement ever.
Nope. And smart people learn from their own mistakes. We don't have that time or luxury in retirement. We've got to be geniuses and learn from the mistakes or the knowledge of others. And in this case, Tim Stearns is a certified financial planner. He has that knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. Pick up the phone, give him a call for that complimentary review, that retirement planning strategy session, and that plan design, the written retirement income plan, or if you'd like to start by reading the book Income Allocation. 800-640-2256 is the number to call. That's 800-640-2256 to get in touch with Chicagoland's certified financial planner, CFP Tim Stearns. Tim, we always appreciate your time, guidance here on the program. Thank you for being our resource.
Tune into Chicagoland's certified financial planner Tim Stearns' full radio program on 890 WLS every Sunday at 11 a.m. and visit tjstearns.com for many valuable resources, including other great episodes of Chicagoland Retirement. Be sure to subscribe.
Securities offered through TJ Stearns, a registered representative of Crown Capital Securities LP, member FINRA SIPC. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature, not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs.